You know, I grew up in a little town about 25 miles east of here called Stott City, Missouri. And you know, the way I like to explain that to everybody, I had 5 brothers and sisters, and you know, we grew up just as poor as anybody else. And you know, the only place my dad ever took us was to an auction or to a rodeo. And pretty much my whole life, that's all I ever wanted to do is go to an auction. You know, I grew up trading calves with the neighbors, and then I ended up, you know, going to auction school when I was 13 years old and started having live farm auctions and antique auctions and farm machinery auctions. And we sold a lot of cattle at farm sales back in those days. And I was fortunate enough to work with a man named Frank Hall who got me started in the business. And as it came along through the years, you know, I started trading calves with the neighbors at the local auction barns. And in 1977, when I graduated from high school, and I actually got married when I was 18 to my high school sweetheart, and I went to Joplin and went to work at the Stockyards there. I ended up buying Joplin Commission Company, and in 1986, after we run it that way for several years, I had an opportunity to buy the Joplin Stockyards as a whole, you know, the yard company plus the commission company. So we did that. We run it at that facility until 1995, when we moved out here to where we're at today, and on I-44 at exit 22, and we've operated here ever since then. Well, you know, the way I like to describe it, and of course it's mine, and I'm pretty proud of it. You know, we designed it ourselves. It's a fast-flowing cattle environment where cattle flow really good. You know, the flow of a barn's really important. It's got 23 alleys that feed the ring, you know, and 3 alleys that go out of the ring. You know, all cattle here have water and hay at their free choice. So we try to enhance the health of the cattle through doing a lot of those different types of things. As we came into the 90s and the late 90s, and we started our value-added program where we know exactly what shots they get them. We tried to make them understand, you know, they need a virus shot, they need a pastorella shot, they need a blackleg shot. It's going to enhance the health of those cattle as they move on through the system, as they go to a backgrounder in the west, or as they go to a feed yard. They stay more healthy for those people, so they're more willing participants in our auction here. They come and buy your cattle with knowing that the health of those cattle is going to be way better than it has been in the past. And you know, it's I'd call it a state-of-the-art facility that, you know, that anybody would be proud to run and to own, because it's functional, it works. Not only is it's designed really well, it works the very best. You know, in the livestock marketing business comes from is the heart, in my opinion, because, you know, all through the years, I could tell you how our calves sold in the fall of the year when I was a kid by the way we lived for the next year. But, you know, I've often said that, you know, out there we never knew if we was making any money or not. We just knew how big the pile was when we marketed those calves in the fall. You know, if the pile was this tall or whether it was this tall, we could manage to live for a whole nother year on it, and that's called management. Well, you know, 5-10 years down the road, I've got 3 children, and I've got 8 grandchildren. And, you know, this has been the love of my life, and those along with my family, and it's a family business. And I've got my brother-in-law, Steve Owens, is my partner here. We've been partners since we was 18 years old. I think our role and the auction business is good for another generation. And I guess any further than that, I don't need to think about it anyway.